Okay, hello fifth grade. It is day 7 of our video lessons. I hope you're all doing well. And before we begin today, I just want to go over another important pieces of information. So this is our video from yesterday, right? From day 6. And I just want to remind you all that exit tickets are going to be given out daily, okay? And the way you access them is you go, this is our video, the one that I posted yesterday. And in the description right here at the bottom, you have a 5th grade exit ticket link. You click on it and then it'll take you directly to the exit ticket. Okay, it's only one question. You put in your level of understanding and then any other questions you may have, and that's it. Okay, it shouldn't take you no more than 5 minutes. Yesterday for this exit ticket, I only received 11 out of the 33 students in the class. Okay, please be sure that you are filling out these exit tickets. They are very important. As a reminder, grades are going to be due in next week, actually. So please make sure that you're watching the videos. If you know someone, a friend who's not watching it, please remind them that they need to watch the videos because we will be having quizzes and it's going to be part of their grade. So it's very important that you're keeping up with the videos, okay? Again, grades are due next week. Please be sure that you're watching the videos and following along. Today we are going to have our first Zoom session, okay? How that's gonna work, it's, again, I'm gonna send this link out. This is the link from yesterday and it's the same one. All you're gonna do is just click on it and it'll take you directly to the page. You can click open and then you'll be able to see me and I'll be able to see you and then I'll be able to hear you and then we can talk and I can answer any questions that you may have, okay? And again, this is the link from yesterday, and it's gonna be, I'm gonna put it again in the description. Both links will work, both the ones from yesterday and the one from today, okay? Be sure that you're clicking on Zoom link, all right? Starting at 1:30, so parents and students, starting at 1:30, I will be available, okay? Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm gonna be available up until 2 o'clock, and then I'm gonna switch over to my 4th grade class, okay? But for 5th grade, your time slot is between 1:30 and 2. All right, so within those 30 minutes, I'm available to answer any questions you may have. All you need to do is just click on the link. I have tried it on an iPhone and it works on an iPhone. All you need to do is just download the app. And so I can imagine it will still work for an Android or any other smartphone, okay? But it also works on it works fine on a laptop, right? On a computer. All right, well, that is it. If you have any questions, please message me, and thank you for those families and students who are following along with the videos. I'm looking at your exit tickets, and I'm looking at your scores, and thank you for that. All right. Okay. So now we have, this is your warm up. Go ahead and pause the video and answer it. All right. I hope you were able to answer these questions. Let's begin. All right, so number 1, write 1 over 1/6, 1 whole and 1/6 as an improper fraction. Okay, well, this is a what? What type of fraction is this? This is a mixed number, right? I have a 1 whole and a fraction. That means that they're mixed, right? We have a 1 whole and a fraction. But we need to rewrite that as an improper fraction. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this whiteboard. Okay, I have 1 whole and 1 over 6. Well, I can definitely draw this fraction up. 1 over 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, how many of them are shaded in? 1. Okay, now what about this 1 whole? Draw it over here. What about that 1 whole? Well, I know that all of it's going to be shaded in, right? That's what makes it a 1 whole. But how many pieces? How many pieces did it have? Well, that's what my denominator tells me. It says that I have 6 pieces. This one only has 1 shaded in, but this one, it still has 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but all of them are shaded in, right? So my fraction over here is 1/6. My fraction over here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total pieces. And 6 of them, all of them are shaded in. So I have 6/6, 1/6. So then that'll give me 7/6, okay? Let me explain that again. I know it might be confusing right now, but it's going to be very important for today's lesson. What we're doing is we're switching this mixed number into an improper fraction. Remember, an improper fraction is where your numerator is bigger, larger than your denominator, okay? These two numbers are the same, okay? They're just written differently. So what we did is I wrote this part 1/6 as a fraction. I drew it, and then this 1/2 I drew it over here as well. This part was easy, right? I just drew 1/6. That's easy. But my 1/2, remember, if it's a whole number, that means that all of it, everything is shaded in. But how do we get to that point? How many total pieces were there before? Well, that's what my denominator tells me. My denominator tells me how many pieces in total I should have. So then that's why I drew 6 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? For example, let's say that I had 1/2. Well, let's draw this part first. Actually, I'm going to do it in a different color. Let's draw 2/3. So that's 3 boxes, 2 of them are shaded in. And then let's draw the 1/2. Well, I know I have 1/2 and all of it's going to be shaded in. But how many pieces were there? How many pieces were there before? My denominator tells me that. And what's my denominator? 3. So then that means that it is a whole, but there was 3 pieces before that, okay? So my improper fraction here is 3/3, 2/3, and that's going to give me what? 5/3, right? I have 3/3 plus 2/3, 5/3, okay? And then that'll give me that. That's exactly what I did here, okay? Again, we're going to get a lot more practice with this because it's going to be very important for today's lesson. So that was number 1. Number 2, write 3/2 as a mixed number. So hopefully that one's a lot easier because this is the one that we've been practicing a lot with. 3/2 as a mixed number. This is an improper fraction, correct? Yes, because our numerator is larger than our denominator. So I'm going to rewrite this as a mixed number. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to draw it. I have how many total pieces? 2. And I need to shade in 3, right? That's what my numerator tells me. So I have 1, 2. Oh man, I need to make another box of 2 because I don't have enough space. 3. And now what do I have here? I have 2/2 or 1/2, correct? And then what about here? I have 1 shaded in over 2 pieces. So my mixed number is 1/2 and 1/2. Remember, a mixed number should have a whole number. A mixed number should have a whole number, okay? And then that's it. That's our answer. All right. Hopefully these weren't too difficult. Hopefully number 2 wasn't too difficult. Let me go ahead and erase this. All right. So today our objective is, today's the 24th, is we are going to subtract fractions from numbers between 1 and 2. All right. It's a very similar lesson from yesterday. Very similar question from yesterday. Except we're going to be subtracting whole numbers this time as well, okay? So let's go ahead and do an example. I'm going to do 1 whole and 3/4 minus 4/5, okay? Now this looks a bit different, right? But it's actually the same thing. Hopefully it's pretty simple, but if not, it's okay. We'll get some more practice this week. So let's go ahead and get started, okay? So please be sure that you're taking notes and you're following along here. All right. Well, we need to subtract these two numbers, right? But as you notice, our denominators are not the same, right? I have a denominator of 4 here, and I have a denominator of 5 here, all right? We know that we cannot subtract them because our denominators are not the same. So what am I going to have to do? I'm going to have to draw it, all right? And actually, let me go ahead and do these in different colors. Okay. So, a whole number, right? How am I going to draw a whole number? Well, for now, let's just draw a box, all right? And we know that because it's a whole, all of it is filled in, right? I only have 1 whole. And then let's go ahead and draw the fraction 3/4. 3/4, that is 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3. 3 of them are filled in. All right, so I'm just going to pause and explain what I'm doing. I have 1 whole, so I drew 1 whole. Then I have 3/4, right? Right now, I'm just drawing it just like we did before, except this time we have a whole number. But like we did with our warm-up, this is 1 whole, but how many pieces should have been there? How many pieces should have been there in this 1 whole? Well, our denominator tells us that, so we should have how many total pieces? 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and all of them are filled in. That's what makes it a 1 whole. All right? Okay. Now let's draw the 4/5. 4/5. I have 5 total pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have 4 of them shaded in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is the exact same thing we did yesterday and the day before, and what we've been doing this whole time. For my black square, how many pieces am I going to have to add to it? 5. So I'm going to draw 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. But I also have to add it in to this one, okay? Because remember, yesterday we only had 1 box and another box, so we were just switching those two. But because now we have a whole number, this black box is still part of this one, right? It's the same number, 1 whole and 3/4. These two are the same boxes, 1 whole and 3/4. We also have to add in 5 rows to this box. So let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Again, it is the exact same thing we did yesterday, except now we have a whole number, okay? Except now we have 2 boxes, but they are part of the same number, okay? Then let's do the same for our blue box. For our blue box, how many are we going to have to add? How many rows are we going to have to add? 4 rows, right? So let's go ahead and draw 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. All right. Now let's go ahead and count it up and see what we have. How many total boxes do we have? Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I have 20 total pieces. What about for this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20. What about for, we are subtracting them. What about for this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's good. We have the same denominator for every box. We have 20, okay? Now let's see how many of them are shaded in. Well, for this one, remember, all of it was shaded in. All of it was shaded in. Because it was one whole. So let's count up and see how many of them are shaded in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 20, right? Just by looking at it, I know that everything is filled up. Because it was a whole number. Everything was filled up. Everything was shaded in. 20 over 20. What about for this one? Let's see how many of them are shaded in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 15. Okay? What about for this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have 16 shaded in. Now, here's something that we haven't dealt before. I have 20 over 20 and 15 over 20. Minus 16 over 20. Well, what do you think we're going to have to do to these two numbers first? You should go ahead and pause the video and try to think, what are we going to have to do to these two fractions first? Alright, hopefully you paused the video. And so what we're going to have to do to these two numbers is we are going to add them up, right? They are part of the same. And since they are part of the same fraction, we have to add them up. 20 plus 15, that is 35. And our denominator does not change. So it stays into that. And we are subtracting this by 16 over 20. And now look, we went from something that we could not subtract, and now we have something that we can definitely subtract. 35 minus 16, well, let's go ahead and do that on the side. 35 minus 16, 2, 15, 9, 1, 19. 19 over 20, and that is our answer right here. 19 over 20, okay? So, right now, if you're a little bit confused, that's okay. This is our first example. We're gonna do a few more. So if you're feeling a little bit confused right now, that's okay. But I'm just gonna go ahead and recap, summarize what we did, okay? So, we're subtracting these two values, 1 whole and 3/4 minus 4 over 5. But we notice that we cannot subtract them because their denominators are different. So what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to draw them up and then change them a little bit, okay? So our denominators are the same. Well, I started off by drawing 1 whole, but because it was 1 whole, I wanted to add in pieces in there, okay? And how many pieces must have been there? 4. That's what our denominator tells us. So then I drew 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and remember, everything was filled in. Then I drew 3 over 4. Well, that one was easy. I had 4 pieces, and 3 of them were filled in, and that's it. And then I drew 4 over 5 here, and then the next step is I just switched it up, much like we were doing before. I have 5 rows here, so that means I have to add 5 rows in my black box. I needed to add 4 rows on my blue box, so then I drew 4 rows. And then the next step is I just did the same thing we were doing before, right? I counted them up, I see how many of them were shaded in, and that was it. I had 20 over 20, 15 over 20, and 16 over 20. But now, I noticed that these two black boxes were part of the same fraction. They're both black, they're both part of this fraction over here. So what did I have to do? I had to add these two up first. 20 plus 15, that'll give me 35 over 20. And then that's when I could subtract my other fraction. And that's how I got 19 over 20. Okay? Again, hopefully this makes a little sense, but that's okay. Let's do another problem, all right? Let's go ahead and do another problem. Let us try Let's see. Let's try 1 over 1/8. 1 over 1/8 minus 3 over 5. Okay? Well, first thing I need to do, again, let me draw this in a different color. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to draw it up first, okay? Because look, our denominators are not the same, so I have to make them the same. So first, let's draw one whole. And actually, for this one, go ahead and make your boxes big. I have one whole, so everything is shaded in. But how many pieces were there before? 8, right? So let's go ahead and draw 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? Let me draw this again really quick. These are pretty big denominators, everybody. So you should draw your boxes big. Otherwise, they're not going to come out neat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. And remember, everything is filled in. Everything is shaded in. It is a whole number. Everything is shaded in. All right. Next up, let's draw the 1 over 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And only one of them is filled in, right? 1 over 8. So here in my blue box, I have one whole and 1 over 8, okay? Next, let's draw 3 over 5. I'm going to do that at the bottom, all right? Because I don't have enough space. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 3 filled in. 1, 2, 3. All right, we are subtracting that. Okay, next step is we do the exact same thing we've been doing this whole time. We're gonna add rows. So, for my blue boxes, how many rows am I gonna have to add? 5, right? So let's go ahead and add 5 rows, but we are going to add 5 rows for both of them, right? Because they are the same fraction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I added 5 rows. Do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Next up, let's do the same thing for my black box. How many rows am I going to have to add here? 8, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay? You see, that's why I said that you should be drawing large boxes, right? Because we have big denominators here. All right, so now that I drew it, let's go ahead and count them up. Now, hopefully by this time, you're noticing that we can just kind of multiply, right? So we don't have to count it up 1 by 1 box, by 1 box, by 1 box, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, right? 40 pieces. I'm going to do that over here at the bottom. Ooh, it's big. And again, what I'm doing is I'm just skip counting, just because it's going to take a long time to count one square by 1 square, okay? You can definitely do that, but hopefully by now you're starting to notice a few tricks that'll make your life easier and it'll make it go quicker, all right? What about for this one? How many rows do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. And again, all I am doing is I am to skip counting, okay? What you can definitely do is count it one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Count all of them up, and you should get 40, okay? How many of them are shaded in here? Well, let's count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I have 5. I am subtracting it. Now let's count up this one. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 40 total pieces. All right, so far so good. Because look, all my denominators are the same. So that means I drew my boxes correctly, okay? Now let's go ahead and count them up and see how many of them are shaded in. 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. We're all filled in. 24. All right. Now, these two are the same, right? Because they're part of the same fraction. They're part of this whole number right there. So I'm going to have to add these up first. 40 over 40 plus 5 over 40. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I have to do it in another whiteboard. All right. So these two numbers will give me 45 over 40. And then let's go ahead and subtract this fraction. And now I have that 45 minus 24. That will give me 21 over 40. What did I put it to there? Over 40. And that's our answer. That's it. Does it take a long time? Yes, it does take a long time, especially when you have large denominators like these. But again, it's the same process we were doing beforehand, okay? Except this time we're dealing with whole numbers and stuff. But it is the same thing. Let's see, anything else important? Nope, I think that's it. Let's go ahead and do one last example, okay? Go ahead and erase these really quick. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and try. Actually, we'll do 2 more examples. Let's go ahead and try this one. And you know what? I challenge you to pause the video and see if you can solve this one on your own. Okay, if you weren't able to, that's okay. We'll do it together. It looks simple, but once you take a look at it, they're trying to trick you, right? Well, not trying to trick you, they're just trying to make you think a little bit harder. 3 over 2 minus 5 over 6. Again, hopefully you've noticed these two are not the same fractions. I mean, not the same denominator, so what are we going to have to do? We are going to have to change them up. But whoa, hang on. What do you notice? I have 3 over 2 here. And that doesn't look like a whole number, but it is, right? If we draw it, 3 over 2, much like we did for our warm-up, and let me go ahead and draw this one a little bit bigger. If we draw 3 over 2, I have how many total pieces? 2 total pieces, right? Because that's what our denominator tells us. I have 2 total pieces, and I need to shade in 3. 1, 2. Whoa. I need to shade in 1 more. So what am I going to have to do? I'm going to have to draw another box. And another box of 2 and shade in 1. And now I have 1, 2, 3. 3 shaded in, okay? All right. Next up, I am subtracting by 5. By 5 over 6. How many total pieces do I have? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I have to draw another box? No, because this is not an improper fraction. This one's just a regular fraction. I have 6 pieces and 5 of them are shaded in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? All right. Next step is we have to switch these up, right? How many rows am I going to have to add to my blue box? 6. So let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But this box, I also need to add in 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Then let's add the rows to my black box. How many rows am I going to have to add? 2. 1, 2. And that's it. Now let's go ahead and count them up. How many total pieces do I have for this one? Let's count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How many are shaded in? All of them. 12. What about for this one? How many total pieces do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How many of them are shaded in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. What about this one? How many total pieces do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How many of them are shaded in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 are shaded in. Okay? So, all my denominators are the same. So that means I've been doing it right so far. Now let's go ahead and subtract. Okay? I have 12 over 12 and 6 over 12. These are part of the same fraction, right? They're part of the same color. So what am I going to have to do? I'm going to have to add these up first. 12 plus 6, that's 18. 18 over 12. And then I'm subtracting 10 over 12. So 18 minus 10, it's 8. My denominators do not change. And that's my answer, 8 over 12. Okay? And that's it. Again, same type of example, except I switched this improper fraction and I drew it up. Okay? So hopefully do not get confused with just our additional box that we have, right? Because so far, before, all we've been working is with 2 boxes, okay? But now we just added in another whole number box, all right? But it is the same process. It is the exact same process, okay? Let's go ahead and just do one example. Let's do this one. 1 minus 5 over 6. You're probably wondering, like, what do we have to do here? But it's actually not too difficult. So first, let's do the same thing. I have one whole. And then I have 5 over 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 6. So I have that, right? All I did is just draw it. I have my one whole and my 5 over 6 right there, okay? You're probably wondering, what are we doing with that one whole? Why, or how can we subtract those 2 numbers? Well, because we don't have a denominator for a whole number, all I can do is just, I could just leave it like that. And then, what did we do beforehand? We just added however many rows for that one. However many rows we needed, right? Same thing we were doing here. I think I made that a little bit more confusing than it needed to be. Right here, I added how many rows for my blue? 6. How many rows did I add for my black? 2, right? Same thing we're going to do here. How many rows am I going to have to add for this whole number? 6. So let's go ahead and draw 6 rows. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't really see it, but I added 6 rows, okay? What about for this one? Well, we don't even have a denominator, so what do you think is going to happen? Yeah, we're not going to do anything to it. There is no denominator. We're not going to add any rows to it. So now let's count it up and see what we have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. And how many of them are shaded in? All of them. What about for this one? How many total pieces do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many of them are shaded in? 5. And now look, 6 over 6 minus 5 over 6. And that now becomes a very simple problem. 6 minus 5, 1. Denominator does not change, and that's our answer, okay? They try to trick you on this one. This one's actually a lot simpler than the ones we've been doing. All right, you just have to think a little bit more critically. All right, and that is it for math today. Yes, I know it was a long video, but it just takes a long time. But hopefully it's not too difficult. It's just very tedious. All right, in your packet, you should have pages 96 and pages 97. All right, go ahead and work on those two on your own. Remember, we have Zoom meeting today at 1:30. Hopefully this video is uploaded by that time, but if not, that's okay. I wanted to address really quick some exit ticket questions because I think there were some pretty good ones out there. One of them was, can fractions go on forever? Yeah, they can. Much like numbers, regular numbers can go on forever, right? Like a million, a trillion, infinity. Fractions are the same way. Remember, fractions are just pieces of whole numbers, right? For example, let's say that this eraser, it's one whole. If I were to chop it up, it's still one eraser, but it's just chopped up into fractions, into pieces, right? Another word for fractions is pieces, all right? Those two are synonyms. Another good question is, what happens if, all right. This was a good question, by the way. For your exit ticket question, we had, let me pull it out. We had 2 over 3 minus 1 over 2. That was your exit ticket question from yesterday. And your answer, if you drew everything, you should have gotten 1 over 6. And I think all of you got 1 over 6, so that's good. And I think this is what you're asking, I'm not sure, but the question was, what happens if we switch up these two numbers? Whoa. Or what happens if we write it like this? 1 over 2 minus 2 over 3. Will we still get 1 over 6? Well, let's think of it like this. What if we had, 18 minus 6? We get 12, right? Well, what if we switch up the numbers here? 6 minus 18. Will we still get 12? No, we will not. We will get a whole different answer. We will get a negative number in this case. And again, it is the same thing for a fraction. Fractions are just like regular whole numbers, okay? They're just pieces of them. If we flip these two fractions, 1 over 2 minus 2 over 3, we're not going to get 1 over 6. We're going to get something else. We're going to get something different, okay? And I'm not going to go through the answer because we've already, this video has run, is long. But that's a good question. If we flip these two fractions, we will not get 1 over 6. We're going to get something else entirely different, okay? But again, very good question. I'm glad that some of you are asking these questions. Feel free to ask more for today's exit ticket question. All right. For science, let's see what we have. Oh, and I think for science today, there is a typo. There is a typo. You are not doing this worksheet. You do not have this worksheet. Do not do this worksheet, okay? That's why it's very important that you watch videos. You're not going to do this. Do not look for this page in your packet. You do not have it. That was a typo. What you are going to do, though, is you're going to do your window graphic organizer. Okay? What you're going to do is, we did it before last time, is you're just going to grab a regular piece of paper. You're going to make 4 sections of it. Now it kind of looks like a window, right? That's why it's called a window graphic organizer. In one box, you're going to give me 3 key details about your reading. 3 key details, anything that you think is important. 1, 2, 3. You are going to give me 2 quotes. Remember, quotes are in quotation marks. That means you're copying it directly from the newspaper. You're going to give me a picture. And then you're going to give me a 5-sentence summary. Okay? So again, you're going to just grab any blank piece of paper, or you can use lined paper as well. You're going to fold it, you're going to cut it, fold it, make it into 4 different sections. 3 key details. Remember, details, you're writing it in your own words. Quotes, you're copying it directly from the newspaper. Picture, and a 5-sentence summary in your own words, okay? Let me just go ahead and pull out what unit we're on. You are in the animal kingdom, but let me just show you once again. Same one you did yesterday. We're still in that week. We're going to have a test on Friday, I think. Again, give me a second. All right. We are on week science. We are on week 5, life science, the animal kingdom, okay? Week 5 of life science, animal kingdom. This is what you should have in your newspaper. All right. And then that's it. That's it. All right. So please, if you have any questions, please contact me. Go ahead, and if you are available, click on the Zoom link. Again, I'm going to put it in the YouTube video description. Okay, it's going to look like that. And log in, and that'll be it. All right, everybody, have a great day.